While they probably need no introduction, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce those people sitting behind me who, under the direction of Assistant Professor of Music Raymond Burry, comprise the MacEwan University Big Band. Let's give up a big round of applause for them today. We will commence the program in just a few moments, and in preparation, I'd like to remind you that the Winspear Center is an acoustically responsive hall. Therefore, we ask that if you are carrying electronic devices with you today, that you take a moment now to turn them off or at least silence them for the duration of this afternoon's ceremony. If you are traveling with small children and your little ones become restless, I just want to let you know that, of course, there are monitors out in the foyers and the lobby areas just outside of the concert hall where you can continue to watch the Convocation exercise and take that needed break for your little ones should that be necessary. We have arranged for a professional photographer to take photos of graduates as they're receiving their parchments and crossing stage here today. More information about how they can be obtained will be forwarded to graduates at a later date through their MacEwan email. As you pass through the foyer this afternoon, I suspect that you likely noticed the big MacEwan University alumni photo area. If you did not take an opportunity to get a photo taken before today's ceremony, we'd certainly encourage you to do so at the conclusion of today, at the conclusion of the ceremony, and take a complimentary photo or two of you and your graduates. However, you are also welcome to take photos of your graduates should you wish to do that yourself. We just ask that you gather here on stage right, stage left, your right, and just congregate in that area, just a few students or graduates ahead of when your graduate is anticipated to walk across the stage, and then to quickly exit the area. It does come kind of congested as people are trying to take photos in that particular area. There will be ushers there to assist should that be necessary. Today is indeed a wonderful and celebratory event as we recognize our graduates for their achievements, both at receiving their credential and, of course, other achievements they have had throughout their time at MacEwan University. Before we begin our ceremony, the MacEwan University Big Band will perform a vocal ballad titled Memories. This was written by Bachelor of Music alumnus Andrew Reed in 2015 to celebrate the first graduating class of the Bachelor of Music in Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music, and now remains a part of the lasting legacy for our university and our convocation exercises. Ladies and gentlemen, the MacEwan University Big Band.
All of the time that drifted by so fast, all of the moments just so we could stay. That fill up every page, all of our laughter that echoes through each age. This chapter's ended, but this book is far from done. There will be days that go on by where we can't help but be reminded of this place that we call home.
Let's keep it going. One more big round of applause to the MacEwan University Big Band and for their performance this afternoon. At this time, I am pleased to introduce this afternoon's mace bearer, Doreen Peel, Instructional Assistant in the Theatre Arts and Theatre Production Program in the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communication. Ms. Peel, who is leading the stage party, is carrying the university mace, which was donated to the university in 1997 by its namesake, Dr. Grant MacEwan, and became the official mace in 2008. It is especially meaningful to the university as it was hand-carved by Dr. McEwen. Further information on the Mace and other Convocation traditions can be found in your Convocation program. The university's faculty will be led this afternoon by Distinguished Proctor Hoyne Santa Blas, Instructor of Fine Art. And finally, we are pleased to have the Blackstone Drum Group who will perform during our graduates procession into the concert hall. At this time, I'd ask that you would please rise and remain standing for the academic processional.
Graduands, distinguished guests, members of the stage party, faculty and staff, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike Sekulich, University Registrar and Marshal of Convocation. MacEwan University respectfully acknowledges that the land on which we gather in Treaty 6 territory is a traditional gathering place for many Indigenous people. We honor and respect the history, languages, ceremonies, and culture of the First Nations, Métis and Inuit, who call this territory home. The First Peoples' connection to the land teaches us about our inherent responsibility to protect and respect Mother Earth. With this land acknowledgement, we honor the ancestors and children who have been buried here, the missing and murdered Indigenous men and women who are in the ongoing collective healing for all human beings. We are reminded that we are all treaty people and the responsibility we have to one another. You may be wondering why some graduands have an extra tassel on their mortarboard. Members of the class of 2018 have been making donations of $18 to our Pass It On campaign, which supports the Alumni Legacy Fund. The silver tassel is a token of our appreciation for their individual contributions to this fund. The Legacy Fund will provide scholarships for future students. So these graduands who haven't even received their diplomas or degrees are already helping the next class. Isn't that incredible? Thank you to everyone who's made a donation. If you still want to join in, you can visit the alumni booth in the lobby and make a donation and receive your silver tassel. Graduands, this campaign is all about helping the next you. So be sure to post your best advice and words of wisdom on social media using the hashtag #TheNextYou. Please remain standing and in respect, remove all hats except mortarboards for the singing of our national anthem led by Ms. Katrina Souza. Thank you, Ms. Souza. Please be seated. I declare MacEwan University Convocation open. It is intended to honor our 2018 graduates. We are honored to have you present with us on this occasion. The word convocation comes from the Latin word convoco, which means to call together by summons. It is traditionally used in connection with ecclesiastical or academic gathering. Convocations are called for the conferring of degrees, diplomas, certificates, for special announcements, and for the recognition of outstanding achievements. So it is today that we call colleagues and friends together to honor MacEwan University's graduates and award recipients for Spring 2018 Convocation. I would like to now introduce members of the stage party and representatives from visiting institutions. Members of the stage party, please remain standing once you've been called upon. Audience, I would ask you to please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. I would like to start with Board of Governors Chair Ione Shalborn, President Dr. Deborah Saucier, Provost and Vice President Academic Pro Tempore Dr. Craig Monk, and Academic Governance Council Vice Chair Dr. Lynn Honey. Would members of our Board of Governors, Vice Presidents, and Associate Vice Presidents please rise? I now ask the Deans, Associate Deans, and members of the University's administration to rise. Representatives of each of our associations, faculty, staff, student, and alumni, please rise. Will our Indigenous knowledge keeper and facilitator, Roxanne Tatusis, please rise. I invite our convocation speaker, Brenda Lieberman, and our mace bearer, Doreen Peel, to please stand and be recognized. Will our distinguished proctor, Hoyen Santa Blaise, along with all faculty and staff of the university, please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stage party. This is your university. Please join me now in a round of applause acknowledging them. Thank you, members of the stage party. You may be seated. For the Indigenous Invocation, I call upon Ms. Roxanne Tatusis, Indigenous Knowledge Keeper and Facilitator.
Good afternoon, Roxanne.
Good afternoon.
It's my honor to offer you protocol for the invocation.
Wate, danse, asaminim stahi, nanaskun, kita tamskat na, asaminuta, kapintum gawianista, kapegagi sus tamatak, nista gami wapi kunitsni hiawigasun, uteutsinista ite, mista heimaskwa, pitawana piwenu taskina niute. So I always greet you in my first language to welcome each and every one of you and thank you for the opportunity to come and open in the sacred manner in which we as the First Peoples of Treaty 6 territory always start all gatherings to honor the tobacco, the sweetgrass, and the sacred cloth that's been offered to me, to offer you prayer so that we can invite Creator and the ancestors to come and bless us at this time, bless the sacred space, and bless each and every one of us for those blessings, for good health, for prosperity, for the changes that you're going to make moving forward for the next 7 generations. I give thanks to them for coming there. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you, and congratulations to all of you graduates. I invite you now to pray with me in the way that's meaningful and purposeful to you, to ask for those blessings so that we can continue in this manner. I myself standing here never thought I'd witness this for myself in my lifetime, to see the Indigenous people like my nephews here, Terry and Leo Paskman, Rocky Morin, and Adrian Cross, sing our graduates. And so it's with great pride that, again, I can offer you prayer in this manner. So with that. Ay hay namamutaw inang semantu. How no sumpanak no kumpanak how gistata yoganak. I saminams the hinanaskuten gakyoga we ate make nisnan. Gapatita at this agamit maumaskip matchun gawihia. Awek te gista, ute na mauna na mam te netskan te honan. Guap ma oko gigo, kakio, wista auta, kaptik, ignoge skna maswa, wista, igo, ka ta tragna rutigetik. Awek te gista. Ta maginaunan sa hinisnan wingskite nan gigoy. Magek tagista sa waimnan minana skip matsune miasik. Wata ko sewen papewen wanas kewen. Eksisuma ngagam pasaguptenan eguma kitatoskewin. Kagoy nagaturatoa wititoa eksisuma gigoy nagatesta mana nakukuskawasis sa kwista igisupi haagok. Awek tanisnan egagigoy ngawan skutetenan. Magek tanista ay hay kakyo kitena kakyo maku. Hey, thank you, Home Relations.
Thank you, Ms. Tutusas. And now I would like to ask Ms. Parvan Sadiji, Student Board Member, to read the MacEwan University Invocation.
Through learning, we flourish and help others to flourish. We stand here today on the brink of important change for ourselves and for the world. Inspired by the past, we now step forward to transform the future. Engaging with others, we cherish the diversity of experience within our communities and ourselves. Through perseverance, we excel. Through compassion, we connect. Through creativity, we thrive. Through knowledge, we grow. Through all this and more, let us forge a legacy to nurture, to inspire, to endure. Moved by the Spirit, strong in our knowledge, we move out into the world with open arms, open mind, and open heart. We pledge to leave the world better than we found it.
Thank you, Ms. Sadiji. Board Chair Chalborn, I invite you to bring greetings on behalf of the University Board of Governors.
Thank you, Mike. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Was it a long morning getting ready to come here today? Couldn't wait to get here. So I'm here to congratulate you on behalf of the Board of Governors for your significant accomplishments and your hard work while you've been a student at MacEwan that has brought you here today. Some days probably the work wasn't as hard as others, but you can't get to this day without an awful lot of hard work. And we hope that you're really enjoying the day of your celebration. It is a time, graduations are a time, to reflect on the many accomplishments that you have had and to be proud of them and to own them completely, that they are part of your experience and you can build on those accomplishments in the time that is ahead of you in your career and in your personal life. But I also want to ask you to take a little bit of time to think about the things that did not go so well. Maybe some mistakes, maybe some things that were even bigger. Maybe they were complete and total failures. What was something that was very frustrating or very embarrassing for you while you were at university? Because understanding those moments and figuring out how you got through those moments are important. They're very valuable because not only did they test your resilience, they help you to build your resilience. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. You know, I'm sure a lot of you watch movies, and you'll watch a movie that says this is based on a true story. Well, what I am going to tell you is a true story. It isn't based on a true story, and it is part of my true story. And it happened to me on my very first day of university. So, my first day of university was the culmination of what was hard work for me. I always knew that I was going to go to university, and I didn't really think why. My parents had told me that's what I was going to do. And I'm from a very small rural community We were one of about 20 families that lived in that community, and there were only 8 students who graduated from high school with me. My parents were the only ones in that community that had post-secondary education, and though they weren't smug, I was. I thought I had it all going on. I knew everything. I was at the top of my class, and so it wasn't that I thought I knew a lot. I really did think I knew everything. So off I go with my baggage, kind of real and metaphorical, to Edmonton to attend the University of Alberta. And I was in for a big shock. I had never had to navigate a place as large as that campus. I had never had so many people around, never so many buildings around. And my first class was at 8:30 in the morning. And for those of you who might be familiar with that other campus, I lived in residence. My class was in the Tory Turtle. So it was a walk across campus, really, in pretty much a straight line. And it was probably a 20-minute walk. But on that day, I couldn't find it. So I wandered around looking for it, didn't find it, missed that class. So the next day got up a little bit earlier to see, was pretty confident I would find it, but still did not find it. And as the days went on, and I'm serious, it took days for me to find that class, I grew more and more anxious. I was scared, I was frustrated, I was very worried because how could I possibly graduate from university if I could not even find my class? Now, when I grew up, and I'm not sure that it's so much different in a broader cultural context, to make a mistake was a shameful thing. Maybe it was a little embarrassing, but depending on the size of your mistake, it moved from embarrassing and maybe a bit funny to shameful. And we all tried to hide those mistakes and not let anybody know about them because they were reflecting on us as people. So our successes we could talk about if we weren't told. Some of us had the lesson also not to brag or boast. So you're kind of in an awkward situation there. But those 2 weeks were very difficult for me. But I needed to find that class. And so what I tried, I asked for some help. I found a map, but the problem was that I'd never learned how to read a map. Because in my small town, there was one road. You went that way, you went back, it was on the right, it was on the left. So I didn't even know that you had to position your map as to where you were so that you could actually find those buildings. So I learned how to read a map. I learned how to ask questions. And if the answer didn't help me, I learned how to ask another question and another question so that I could, in the end, get the information that I needed to complete my task, which is to get to that classroom. So I'm grateful and very proud to say that I got to that class. I had a lot of catch-up work to do. I had a lot of feelings that I had to work through. I had to work through those feelings of defeat and humiliation and embarrassment and being behind. I wasn't ever used to being behind in a classroom. So I did get over those things, but I never forget them because sometimes I find myself in that position again, and I know that others around me are in that position at times, and I may not always see that they are. So I want to be open to that. So the next time, these days that are coming ahead and the months and years ahead, they really are exciting. And you are going to have accomplishments that you can't even begin to imagine. You're going to realize dreams that you don't even know you have. But you will have some moments of struggle, and you will have some moments of defeat. There will be times when you feel out of place, and there will be times when you feel overwhelmed. So when that happens, try not to let it grab you and paralyze you. Remember something that happened here in your time at MacEwan, a supportive environment, and what you learned, because what you learned in that time will help you bounce back. You already have. You've already bounced back from those times, and you will bounce back again. You will use that perspective to help you. What I learned, the first thing, was to ask for help. The second thing I learned was that when you ask for help, surprisingly, people want to help you. The third thing I learned was that someone asked me for help to know that I could give it and to be there for that person. So, all of you, proud class of 2018, get out there and work your hardest, don't forget to have fun, don't give up, proudly collect your successes, but proudly, just as proudly, collect those other moments, because it's when you combine those two together that you're having your entire whole experience, and one thing will support the other. Our failures strengthen us, and they teach us, and they are part of creating our success. So again, I want to congratulate you on behalf of the Board of Governors. Enjoy your day, and don't forget to thank those who have helped you. There are many around here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Chair Shelbourne, for your personal message, reminding us all that by asking for help and helping when we are able, we can overcome the challenges we face, and in so doing, build resilience, and a better future. I'd like to now ask President Dr. Deborah Saucier to please come to the podium and provide the President's address to Convocation.
Congratulations to each and every one of you. In a matter of minutes, you are going to walk across the stage and become MacEwan alumni, and you will leave this ceremony as our university's best representatives in our community, our city, our province, our country, and indeed the world. As I look out at the sea of faces today, I know there are some pretty big dreams in this room, and I also know there are real worries about what the future will hold. It's very easy to believe that the world is a terrible place. In my reading last week, I read about a professor of economics, history, English, and communication at the University of Illinois at Chicago named Deirdre McCloskey. This is a woman who has studied the world at its best and worst from all kinds of perspectives. And she said something I want to share with you today. For reasons I have never understood, people like to hear that the world is going to hell and become huffy and scornful when some idiotic optimist intrudes on their pleasure. Hi, I'm that idiotic optimist. And I hope you are too. And I want to spend a moment telling you why I understand and why I believe people are pessimistic. Now, I'm a neuroscientist, so I take it from my perspective. You all have different academic disciplines than I do, and you'll have your own. But let me tell you mine. We're pessimists because it's really easy. Your brain is most importantly charged with keeping you alive. Your brain wants you to be pessimistic so that you can protect yourself. That bump in the night is not the cat on your dresser. It's a tiger. That fin in the river is not a pike, it's a shark. But unless MacEwan's biology professors have made some kind of discovery they're not telling me about, there are no sharks in the North Atlantic. The same is true with almost everything else. So when your social media feed makes you feel like the world is at its worst, know that there has never been a better time to be alive. There have never been fewer wars. We have never enjoyed a longer lifespan. We have never experienced such prosperity. So, based on that, how do we make the most of what we know? How do we expand on what we've learned to date and make our world even better? I believe that regardless of what path you're on, it all comes down to your values. Values guide us and keep us on track. And here are a few that I hope you've learned here at MacEwan, or that you can take away from today to help you guide your times ahead. The first thing I would like to share with you is be optimistic. Turn down the volume on your brain's shark detector. Not all the way off. There's a difference between risk-taking and foolishness, but just dial it down a notch. I know that's important to do because it's something I have to do every single day myself. It's hard in a room of this size to keep a secret, but I'll share something with you. I'm an introvert. And in deciding to become the president of this university, I had to agree to do something that's completely out of my comfort zone. If I'd stayed where I felt comfortable, I would be right now in my Birkenstocks and shorts, ratty t-shirt, in front of a computer analyzing data. And that is something I know how to do every day. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and it is so comfortable. But if I'd done that and I hadn't taken this opportunity, I would not have had the opportunities that I've had to date to work with wonderful people, like the people we see here, to meet a number of you and hear your amazing work, and to have the kinds of experiences I've had in my life since becoming your president about 8 months ago. Whenever you dream big, remember me. I'm proof you can do it. Because here's my second piece of advice. Be brave. When I started my PhD, and I sat in the same seats you're sitting in right now, I was so shy, I could barely look anybody in the eyes when I spoke. But I wanted to become a professor of psychology, which meant having to give lectures to large groups of people. And nobody likes a prof who goes, and then we did this. All right? You know, you've had them occasionally. But again, what I had to do was be brave. I had to practice and practice and practice some more. Sometimes I had to fake it. When I wasn't feeling that brave, just get up there, look at the bright light, and hope it wasn't coming for me, right? During those times when you're brave, sometimes you fail, and I've sure had some whoppers. But when you do, you need to get back up, dust yourself off, figure out what happened, and try not to do it again. Last but not least, if I have the most important piece of advice for you, it is the value of being kind. If you're ever asked to do something that is fundamentally opposed to what you believe in and what your values are, decide whether or not it's worth it. When you're deciding that, remember this, that no matter what your decision is, if kindness is at the heart of it, at the center of the decision, you can't go wrong. I myself have had to make many hard decisions, and I have never regretted one that had kindness at its center. We often, though, think, I'm the university president, that kindness has to do with other people. Here's my last little bit about kindness. It's not always about the grand gesture to someone else. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is be kind to yourself. When I was sitting where you were, I took myself very, very seriously. I do so much less today. Even though now I have the most serious job I've ever had, I take time to spend it with my family, to laugh a lot, and to enjoy the people that I work with every single day. It is not uncommon in my office to hear laughter coming out of it as we're making some tremendously difficult decisions, in part because we don't take ourselves seriously, we take the work seriously. But really, not taking yourself seriously is about people. And that's what life is about. It's all about people. Your relationships you've made at your time here at MacEwan, the ones you will forge in the years to come, are the heart of what it means to be human. I'll end with, universities are not agents of social change because of policy or the research or the teaching we do. It's because of the people who go there. Ultimately, it's about you and you out there who make universities agents of change. And I really can't wait to see the changes that you, the class of 2018, will make. Once again, congratulations, and thank you all for sharing your time with us.
Thank you, President Saucier, for your advice that optimism, kindness, and bravery in the face of our fears will help us face challenges and guide us to a better us and a better future. I'd like to invite Mr. Marcus Litchfield, Alumni Association representative, to recognize one of our distinguished alumni.
Good afternoon. Alumni are a university's greatest legacy, and each year MacEwan recognizes the outstanding contribution and achievement of its graduates through the Distinguished Alumni Award. Established in 1986, this award represents the highest form of recognition our university bestows on an alumnus. With this in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award, Brenda Lieberman, Festival Director and Programmer, Calgary Underground Film Festival. After graduating from MacEwan University's Arts and Cultural Management program in 1998, Brenda moved to Calgary, where she noticed a lack of independent film programming and festivals. She decided to fill the void and spent a few years independently programming local film events before co-founding the Calgary Underground Film Festival, CUFF, in 2003. In the 15 years since, CUFF has grown from a small 4-day festival into a week-long event with nearly 7,000 attendees, its own documentary festival, and a series of off-season special events. In 2005, Brenda began working for the Calgary International Film Festival, where she's currently the lead features programmer. She also lends expertise to startup festivals, curates off-season events, and participates in industry juries and panels internationally, positioning herself as Calgary's go-to person for film programming. In 2009, she was awarded Avenue Magazine's Top 40 Under 40 Award. She has also sat on the board of directors for Alberta Media Arts Alliance and Jewish Family Service Calgary. I'd now like to invite Brenda up to receive her award and provide her convocation message to this class of graduates. Congratulations, Brenda.
I love how I can mess that up. Okay.
So sorry. No, I missed it.
There we go. Okay, thank you, Marcus. I'd like to start by thanking MacEwan University Board Chair Chalborn, President Saucier, Dean Gilliland, Associate Dean Ginther, Arts and Cultural Management Department Chair Denise Roy, my nominators, who also happen to be my greatest collaborators, my parents, off to my left, and those of you here today. In addition, I would regret not mentioning, even though they aren't here, Brad Walker, an arts admin classmate and supporter who I'll never forget, Kevin Allen and Pete Harris, my longtime mentors. I never considered myself to be one of the best students, ever, and have to admit, standing up here will now be one of my most memorable life experiences and most incredible honors. I stand up introducing films 100 times per year, but it's never anything like this. I've actually never even read a script I've written, so this is totally new for me. My career leading to where I am today has had the windiest road. It never had a clear path. I basically created my position and designed my career. There was no specific course to take for film programming or how to start a film festival or answers on how to for any of my early initiatives, although all the tools were given to me at MacEwan. All the most successful people that I know in various industries all say the exact same thing about how they got to where they are. You have to create your own path. There is a difference between those who get handed a job at the top level and someone who had to work for it from the bottom. The commonalities between those who worked for it, at least those that I know, are people who have all worked their butts off at the smallest and crummiest of responsibilities and jobs, got their hands dirty, set goals, were willing to have patience moving up, were persistent to get there, and I'll say that twice, persistence is key, and had proven reliability. They are doers, passionate, committed, and visionaries. Before attending MacEwan, I had graduated from the interior design program at Mount Royal College in '95. When I first graduated, I was looking for jobs, and I had no passion. I couldn't picture my life in the field at all. Every person that was from my class kept saying I should be in the arts, but I had no clue what I was going to do. My mom was an instructor at MacEwan and an advocate and supporter of the arts. She took us to tons of theater growing up and was a huge believer in post-secondary education. She convinced me to take arts and cultural management, saying that if I was going to work in the arts, I needed to have some relevant business skills to go with it. This program was a life changer for me. It gave me the direction and confidence to create a path to where I am today. 15 years ago, I co-founded the Calgary Underground Film Festival, operating out of a bar and screening a handful of films to a few hundred people. Today, we operate a year-round event organization with our primary festival attendance upwards of 7,000 people, 7,000 people. And I still make sure that I could do any task or work at all levels and do what we need in order to make it vibrant and successful. Our audience, sponsors, volunteers, staff, and media notice this as it's part of what builds our brand, our growth, and our overall success. Since graduating, I've had some incredible people give me advice along the way, and much of that advice I'd like to share with you as it still holds true today. It may all sound cliche, but it's honestly true. Everyone should find a mentor, at least one or two if you're really lucky. This applies to all ages and stages of your life, as long as they have more experience and wisdom than you. Have an open mind on what it means to pay your dues and work your way up. All older, experienced people will say this, but it's totally true, and I feel really old saying it. Focus. I was completely all over the place, and I was advised that until you focus on what you actually want and put it out there, people won't take you seriously. They won't know how committed you are or know that you're even available for the opportunities. Research and ask questions. Never stop learning more about what you love. Immerse yourself in it. When people think they already know everything, they totally stop growing, learning, and opportunities stop presenting themselves to you. Just think, if you were to stop paying attention to new music or films or anything new for 6 months, how far behind and out of touch you would feel. Fear. Fear is always and will be my and our biggest hurdle in life and moving forward. I still hold myself back at times due to fear and envy those without it. But if you can overcome fear, it will increase your success and set yourself up for new opportunities. The things that I love the most about my work is I get to do my hobby and what I'm most passionate about as my job. It becomes hard to separate at times the two of them, but it means that I never feel like I'm working. When I meet others who feel the same about what they do, I think we're the luckiest people around. Passion will build your success. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lieberman, for your inspiring message, encouraging perseverance and following your passion, creating your own path to personal success and fulfillment. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Monk, along with Academic Governance Council Vice Chair Dr. Lynn Honey, to their respective podiums for the presentation of graduands and the conferring of credentials.
Good afternoon again. When it comes to my responsibilities, this is the biggest and least crummy thing that I get to do every year. It's the transformational moment in the Convocation where graduands become graduates. So graduands, if you are able, please rise. On behalf of the faculties and schools of MacEwan University, I present these graduands and those named in the Convocation program who are not at this ceremony. I ask that they be pledged and admitted to the MacEwan University degrees, applied degree, diploma, and certificates which they have earned.
And I will ask you now to join in the MacEwan University Graduate Pledge. The pledge is not an oath, but an expression of purpose to which you will respond, I will. Will you pledge yourself to use the knowledge, experience, and skills that you have gained at MacEwan University to serve your community and the world faithfully?
I will.
Yes. I am here as a representative of all of my colleagues in the Academy, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Province of Alberta, and upon the recommendation of MacEwan University's Academic Governance Council, I admit you to the degree, applied degree, diploma, or certificate to which you are entitled, and invest in you all of the rights and privileges, powers, and responsibilities pertaining to that credential. Now I bestow upon you this credential as a solemn trust, to transform, engage, and improve the world from this day forth, to teach and to learn from others, so that through your learning, we all may flourish. So thank you. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Monk and Dr. Honey. And now at this point in the program, our marshals will usher the graduates to the stage, and the MacEwan University Big Band will perform a musical selection for your listening pleasure as the graduates are being assembled, and some of which are even in the band.
Every honeybee feels for jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle Road. When you're passing by flowers, you can sigh, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle Road. Don't buy sugar, you just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. It's sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, seems the honey fairly drips. Your perfection, goodness knows. Honeysuckle Road. Buy sugar, you just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. It's sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, seems the honey fairly drips. Your perfection, goodness knows honeysuckle rose. So don't buy sugar, 'cause you're my sugar, and your confection, goodness knows honeysuckle rose.
Wow, aren't they amazing? A round of applause for the MacEwan University Big Band. We will now commence with the individual presentation of our graduates. We would like to remind you that if you wish to take photos of your graduate, please come to the area at the right of the stage as we approach your graduate's name in the Convocation program. An usher will assist to ensure the smooth flow of people in and out of this area. With the exception of those taking photos, we ask that you remain seated during the presentation out of respect for all graduates and their families. Offering congratulations to each graduate, our Board Chair Shelbourne, Dr. Honey, Dr. Monk, the faculty's Dean, and President Saucier will present each graduate with their credential on stage. She will be assisted by Associate Registrars Mr. Tony Norad and Ms. Melissa Merrigan. Off stage to your right is Marcus Litchfield, alumnus of MacEwan University. Mr. Litchfield will present each graduate with a gift on behalf of the MacEwan University alumni. And I would ask graduates to please return to their seats after receiving their credentials. And now, I would like to call upon Dr. Alan Gilliland, Dean, Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications, to present graduates.
Thanks, Mike. And Mike. Sorry. It's a bad joke. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm now very proud to present to you the following candidates for degrees, applied degrees, diploma, and certificates in the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Communication Studies. Laura Lynn Angus with distinction. Courtney Diane Betton with distinction. Sierra Jade Bilton. Andrew Philip Binney. Ashley Elizabeth Demers. Virginia Jessie Dowdell with distinction.
Phoebe Lane Erskine. Cheryl Janelle Escott. Caleb Andrew Fox with distinction. Sydney Morgan Fox with distinction. Bernadette Marie Gallagher. Jamie Elizabeth Gargas. Heather Ann Gunn. Kalina Marie Hennig with distinction. Jenna Ling Horning. Taylor Joy Kafish.
Courtney Jocelyn Charmel King. Kate Melissa Knowles. Brendan Daniel Joseph Koenig. Megan Tulsia Lala. Ashley Laurel Lewis. Melissa Danielle Lilly. Michael James McGuire with distinction. Brendan Joseph Maisonneuve. Jamie Sear Malbuff with distinction.
Dara Maria Elizabeth McGinnis. Anna Charlotte McMillan with distinction. Olivia Simone Moore. Zachary Mueller. Brendan Robert Nashman. Jillian Haley Park. Kevin Nelson Christopher Pennyfeather. Barbara Troiani Prezia. Trevor John Robson. Daniel Glenn Saleh with distinction.
Amanda Marie Scott with distinction. Maria Jose Silva. Amanda Marie Spencer. Marie Joanna Saint-Ange with distinction. Megan Strong. Carol Tan. Stefan Peter Tarnowski. Rebecca Brianne Topping. Tristan Joe Wilma. Amanda Yvette Wolfer. Landon Julian Wolf.
Caitlin Shauna Marie Wood. And lastly, Juwaria Abdunur Yusuf. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Music in Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music. Brandy Nicole Bailey. Ellie Michael Buchhalter. Luke Nielsen Brightonator. Gaston Joseph Butcher.
William Edward Crawford. Joel Croft. David James Dallas with distinction. William David Jackson. Sasha Liebran. Frederick Francis Mack with distinction. Aaron Matheson. Allison Elise Morin. Joel Taves with distinction. Sam Alexander Wettick with distinction. And lastly, Thomas William Vernon Yakimek. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Design Studies Diploma. Pamela Gwynn Desplinter. Riley James Goodine.
Sharissa Jillian Johnson with distinction. Sarah Catherine Carlson. Zakia Kudus. Anna Lee Kulkin. Samantha Nicole Lekapoy. Ashley Kathleen Martin. Rimshaw Nadeem. Shelby Cassandra Park.
Jessica Elizabeth Patrician. Jamie Lynn Protz. Tylee Shy Sparrow. Eric Devon Sutton. Alicia Lucy Thomas with distinction. Deanna J.C. Tupechka. And lastly, Cassandra Michelina Wandeka. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Fine Art Diploma. Megan Margarita Bellan. Shawnee Danielle Helena Buffalo. Irvin Senan Cantos. Dana Lillian Colborn.
Violet Marie Crinchia. Emily Ann Derry. Bailey Jordan James. Caitlin Nicole Krebs. Leanne Margaret Kuzik. Kathan Michael Luke. Thaisa Katrine Lund, with distinction. Caitlin Joy Paul. Stephen Christopher Rockwood, with distinction. And lastly, Adrienne Lee Smith. And now, presenting graduates receiving the music diploma. Christina Andilova. Rachel Joanna Breitkreitz.
Michael Glenn Churkowski. Max Yache Huzier. Maria Antonia Monai Brophy, with distinction. Daniel Ethan Morkeberg. Melissa Shire. And lastly, Shailene Mariah Marie Vestby. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Theater Arts Diploma. Megan Mary Sophie Beaupre. Elizabeth Lila Karen Chamberlain.
Rebecca Erin Curtis. Sharice Falmino. Daniela Andrea Fernandez. Amalia Gonzalez Chovanek. Allison Margaret May Horn. Kendra Ann Humphrey. Isabella Dawn King. Jacqueline Victoria Marie Cusi. Ricardo David Rivera. Baja Noel Rogers. Meredith Joan Shuchuk. Victoria Elizabeth Scorbahach. Kiara Elizabeth Tate Penna. And lastly, Joshua Daniel Travnik.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Theater Production Diploma. Levon Alexander Bilodeau. Evangeline Florence Mary Cardinal. Tara Keeley. Hunter Luth with distinction. Mark Andrew McVicker with distinction. James Allen Morris. Skylar Faye Muscoller. Gareth John Rosser. Madison Page Ryder. And lastly, Christian Joshua Zaretsky with distinction.
Yeah. And I'd also like to present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications unable to be present, whose names are listed in your program. Let's hear it for all those who couldn't get here today.
Thank you, Dr. Gilliland. And again, congratulations to the graduating class of 2018. The presentation of student awards will begin with the Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence for the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications. I would like to invite Dr. Gilliland to this podium to present the award.
Within each faculty and school at MacEwan University, we recognize the students whose academic efforts have propelled them to the top of their class. The Dean's Medals are the highest academic honor that we may be granted by a faculty and recognizes the exemplary success of individual students within their area of study. One award may be granted in a certificate or diploma program and one award in a degree program. This year's Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a certificate or diploma program from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications is awarded to Mark Andrew McVicker, a graduate of Theatre Production Program. So these comments come from Scott Spidell from the theatre production faculty. Mark McVicker played the important role of production manager for the first show of last season, Sister Act, which was a especially big show for us because we opened the Trifo Theatre with that show. Mark's leadership was well respected by his fellow classmates as well as his faculty and staff mentors. It was a difficult production with many unexpected trials, and Mark met them all with aplomb. Aplomb, eh, Scott? Aplomb? Really? Nice, very nice. Very nice. He worked as wardrobe second for Love and Information and finished off the season as head prop builder for City of Angels, where he became one with Oscar. And what that means is we actually made a bunch of Oscars, the Oscar, 50 of them. Mark's calm demeanor and steady direction well suited him for his future goals, be it in theater or anywhere else his heart takes him. Congratulations again to Mark. And this year's Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a Degree program within the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications is awarded to Virginia Jessie Dowdle, a graduate of the Bachelor of Communication Studies. And these words come from their chair, Lucille Mazzo. During her 4 years in the Bachelor of Communication Studies degree program, Virginia Dowdle consistently excelled in her studies. Editing is a passion for Virginia. She demonstrated these editorial skills not only within her own coursework, but also working collaboratively with authors, helping them to find their voice while ensuring that their stories were publication ready for others to enjoy. Virginia was a student editor for Earth Common Journal, acted as a research editor for The Griff, and completed her field placement at Athabasca University Press. In addition, she also fulfilled the role of spring-summer research assistant for the MacEwan Research Office. What is remarkable about Virginia is her dedication to the idea of communication. Her need to bring clarity to message, stories, and news is supported by her desire to effect positive social change in the world through good communication. Congratulations, Virginia.
Thank you, Dr. Gilliland. And now I'd like to invite President Dr. Deborah Saucier to the podium for the President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership.
The President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership was created to recognize academic achievement, student leadership, and active involvement in the community. Recipients strive to make your university and the world a better place and set high personal standards in all they do. Sharisa Johnson, who is receiving a Design Studies diploma today, clearly fulfills the criteria for this award in every way. Not only is she a high-achieving student with extensive creativity and scholarly work, Sharisa is also a leader within her own program and beyond. Throughout her 3 years at MacEwan, she has worked to enhance and support other students' experiences, and as a member of the Design Studies Student Advisory Committee, and as an executive member for both the Design Studies Organization Student Club and the Design Studies Portfolio Club show. Sharisa helped lead the Design Studies Organization's first conference, a 3-day event that connected undergraduate design students with industry speakers and experts. She also helped organize this year's Design Studies Portfolio Show, which brought more than 100 employers to an exhibition featuring the best work of this graduating class. And Sharisa hasn't limited her volunteer activities to the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications. She has volunteered as an event photographer for the MacEwan Ambassadors and the university's chapter of the Golden Key Honor Society, and was a member in the CASE Club, which led her to participating in the European Innovation Academy through the School of Business. Please join me in congratulating Sharisa in achieving so many things during her time at MacEwan, and helping me thank her for her many contributions to the MacEwan community. Thank you.
Thank you, President Saucier. And again, congratulations to our Student Award recipients, Mark, Virginia, and Sharisa. A round of applause. A round of applause. I would like to invite Marcus Litchfield, alumni representative, to provide a welcome to you, our newest members of the MacEwan University alumni community.
Good afternoon again, family, friends, and graduates. In just a few years, we have seen great progress occur in our city. I'm not only referring to the ICE District, the construction of the SAMU Student Building, or the completion of the Center for Arts and Culture, but also to the progress each of you have made in your life, which has brought you to this point. In your hands, you hold a physical representation of your achievements, a testament to your efforts, your difficulties, your motivation, and for some of you, your caffeine intake. While your credential will act as a key, opening doors for years to come, the knowledge and experience you've gained will keep those doors open. As a student at MacEwan, you've learned much more than just the content of your courses. You've learned independence, hard work, critical thinking, perseverance, teamwork, and leadership skills. You've learned to question things that don't make sense, to engage with your community, and to construct and express ideas to those around you. You have gained the skills required to become lifelong learners. The experiences you've had at MacEwan will benefit you and your community throughout your lifetime. You have the chance to contribute to countless lives, to lift those around you who need your help, and to not only seize opportunities, but to create them. Today, you join 60,000 alumni who are making a difference in their communities, here in Edmonton, in Alberta, and around the world. As you move forward, remember what you've learned, and know that the power to change the world is within you. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Mr. Litchfield. This brings us to the closing moments of our ceremony, after which alumni and their families are invited to join us for a celebration in the foyer. At this time, I would like to invite all graduates to express their appreciation to the people who have supported them throughout their educational journey. Would the faculty members please rise? Faculty members rise, and graduates, a round of applause for the faculty members. Also assisting you in your educational journey are your family members and friends. Family members and friends, please rise. I know you've been sitting for a while. Family members, friends, please rise. Graduates, a round of applause. Didn't that feel good? And now, in turn, I would like to invite our audience, faculty and staff, to join me in congratulating our graduates of 2018! Oh, I think I blew out a vocal cord in that last one. President Saucier, I invite you to close Convocation.
Alrighty then. Congratulations to each and all of our graduates. We know this is a special day and encourage you to celebrate its importance with your family and your friends. Allow me to express on behalf of everyone here, perhaps not as loudly as our registrar, our appreciation to those volunteers who helped make today such a success. All of us at MacEwan are exceedingly proud of the achievements of each and every one of you. I now ask that everyone please rise and remain standing during the playing of our Legacy Recessional composed by MacEwan alumnus Sean Bessie, and kindly wait until the graduates have left the performance chamber before you exit. Mace bearer, University Registrar, will you please lead the recessional? I now declare this convocation closed.